Hey, welcome back. Today we're looking at 14.2 limits algebraically. So one of the things to remember is if you can substitute, then substitute. That's the number one thing to do first. If you're trying to find a limit and you can substitute without it being undefined or messing with any algebra rules, then do so and then you'll be done. You don't have to graph, you don't have to make a table, that'll be it. If you cannot substitute, try to factor and cancel. So let's go ahead and do this. So if I plug in my -3, right, limit as x approaches -3 of x plus 4, then I can plug in my -3 plus 4 and get 1. Similarly, we can do the next one, 5x squared, which is one of the functions we used 2 classes ago. So we're going to say 5, we're plugging in the 2 for our x squared. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. These are pretty simple algebraically. We're just substituting and simplifying. Oops, forgot my arrow here. Limit as x approaches 4 of 6 minus x. Again, we can substitute 4 for x. This is going to be 2. I'm breezing right through this. Limit as x approaches 2 of 5x to the 4th plus 3x squared minus 10x plus 1. This looks complicated, but we're still allowed to substitute. Make sure you plug in all of your x's. 2 to the 4th is 16 times 5 is 80. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. Minus 10 times 2 is 20 plus 1. That's going to be 92. Minus 20 is 72 plus 1 is 73. Right, we're still just rolling right along because we're allowed to substitute. Even for the next one, limit as x approaches 5 of -4x. So -4 times 5 is going to give us -20. Now we got to hold the brakes because limit as x goes to 3 of x squared minus x minus 6. If we substitute that in for x here, we get 3 squared is 9 minus 9, which is 0. So we got to stop. Now the hint that we were given earlier was that if you cannot substitute, try to factor and cancel. All right, so we have a polynomial on top, a trinomial, and we have a binomial on bottom. These shouldn't be too hard to factor. So x minus x, x squared minus x minus 6. We're looking for what multiplies to get -6, adds to get -1. So that would be -3 and +2. So we're going to leave that in factored form in the numerator. In the denominator, x squared minus 9, this is a difference of squares. Okay, and we know so because x squared is a perfect square, its square root is x. 9 is a perfect square, its square root is 3, and we have a minus in between them. So we know that's going to factor out to be x minus 3, x plus 3. And now here's the part, so limit as x approaches 3 of this, right? So all we did was simplify we didn't really simplify it. We factored our numerator and denominator, right? So we're just looking at the same thing here in a different form. Now, here's the part where we can cancel because x minus 3 divided by x minus 3 is 1. All right, so we have x plus 2 over x plus 3. We're finding the limit as x goes to 3. Now we're allowed to plug in 3, right? Because we can definitely do 3 plus 3 in the bottom. That's not going to be 0 anymore. That's going to be a 6. So let's substitute our stuff in here. 3 plus 2. 3 plus 3. So that's going to be 3 plus 2 is 5 over 6. And then you're done. All right, so if you can, go ahead and factor if we have polynomials in there, and then see if things will cancel, because if they do, what we end up with is something we can plug into most times. We can just substitute in at the end. Yeah, factoring doesn't go away. If you're going to continue on with math, you're going to see factoring here and there, and being able to factor proficiently is going to be super helpful to you. because they're not going to go ahead and reteach you if you're in higher levels of math. They assume that you're good at factoring. So Keep practicing it, and you'll just get better and better. Okay, so that's it for today. Good job. Those of you who are doing distance learning for this year, this is going to be the last lesson of the year. Congratulations, you did it. Make sure you turn in all your missing assignments as soon as possible. I'm happy that you guys made it. Good job. And hopefully you guys will use this in your future at some point.